All right. May every day be a wonderful. Is Trump a pedo? Let's listen here. Is Trump a pedo? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I was up like late. I slept in. Oh my god. This is gonna be a great stream. Let me set up. Good morning. Oh my god. When it fucking pours Trump, Cindy, it fucking rains, dude. Oh my. I don't know. You're the first one in here. We'll find out. Let's set up the let's set it up. You're a quick. You're a quick in it. Let's see if it kicks in. Oh my god, I'm crying. All right, there you go. There you go. I got the poll. May every day be a wonderful secret. Oh my god, if that ain't fucking pedo, guys. If that isn't pedo as fuck, I don't know what is. And then he draws a prepubescent, no one talks about that, a prepubescent girl. And then you know how he does his signature? His signature becomes the fucking pubic hair. That's why he does it. Imagine every time I see his fucking signature, you know what I'm thinking? I'm seeing fucking pubes. I'm seeing a fucking pedo, like, you know how he does that little thing? That would be where the pubes would be. He drew the girl, right? And then he did his signature right where her fucking crotch is. Disgusting motherfucker, dude. What's up, Tony? What a disgusting fucking motherfucker. Oh my god. It'd be, wouldn't it be great and like in the perfect world, Pan Bondi comes out. Can you imagine this? Like meet this surreal play where Pan Bondi comes out and goes, oh yeah, I was one of the girls. I need to come clean. I witnessed it. I was raped by Trump. Imagine Pan Bondi did that. That'd be the icing on the cake. What do you think? Do you think that, I could see someone like, imagine if Patel got in there and saw the fucking videos. Imagine they have videos of Trump like with girls and shit like that. And that letter was like released. What do you think? You guys aren't very talkative. We got 16 people. They're coming. They're coming. Let's making some breakfast here. Let's see. Ham. We're making some breakfast. Some egg. All right. You guys see me? We've been blocked already? What's going on here? Let me change that. shit. Fucking is a trip, man. Fucking a trip, dude. Is Trump a pedo? That's the question. Take the poll. Welcome to the show. I'm on Dow Dude. We are asking the very, very serious question. Is our president a fucking pedo? He definitely is. I know that. But dude, may every day be a wonderful secret. What do you mean? You're all PDF both sides. Clearly, they're all PDF both. Oh, PDF. What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean by they're all pedos both sides. Oh yeah. Oh Irvings. Fuck yeah, dude. No shit. Get them all. Get all these fucking filthy motherfuckers. Get Clinton in jail. Get them all in jail, dude. Let's do a massive fucking roundup. Break out the pitchforks. 100% Irving. Dude, we're all for that shit, dude. You know, but what if it was the honey trap? What if it's a honey trap, right? Do you think about that? Would it be okay if it was a honey trap? Show us the fucking list. Yeah, give us the name of everyone there. Have them sit down. Have them deposed in public. It's a fucking wealthy motherfuckers, dude. It's been this way for thousands of years, tens of thousands of years. It's been this way. Rich fuckers, just taking advantage. I mean, look at Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan. I mean, you know that Asians have a birthmark. You know that Asian kids have a birthmark on their fucking ass. Do you know that? Do you know that? You know that all Asian kids have a birthmark on their ass. Do you guys all know that when it's born? When a child is born in Asia, yeah, in Asia, every Asian kid has a birthmark on their fucking ass when they're born. Like right on the side of their, like right here, right? That's from Genghis Khan. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Both my kids had it. Both my kids had it. It's common. It's from Genghis Khan. Look, we got a Trumper. I bet you've seen a lot. What do you mean? Seen a lot. Like, I have two kids. I noticed they have fucking, I was like, what the fuck? They have they have a big old bruise on the side of their leg. Yeah. Eats dead babies, dude. Anyway. All right, welcome, Temp, then. Welcome to the channel. So, both my kids had it. And I did research. I asked my wife, and like every Asian kid has this purple birthmark. It's from Genghis Khan. It was so he knew. They probably wiped out. I don't know how it happened, but that's what my guess is, Genghis Khan. Because I know Genghis Khan, pretty much fucked every woman. So, all right, pedo POTUS, dude. Oh my God. I was like last night hearing the letter and shit going, what the fuck? What the fuck is that? Congenital dermal melancholis. Hey, John, appreciate that. I've never known that. All right. What is that? So, I assumed it was Genghis Khan, but what is it from? Why do all Asian kids have it, John? God, we got another JS in here. Congratulations. All right. See what this guy says here. Temp, welcome to the channel. Make you a moderator. Since you're not a fucking MAGA. As long as you're not a MAGA, we don't have Nazis, MAGAs in here. That's insane, dude. But why do Asian kids have it, John? What's up, Mitchell? Oh, it's updated. I just updated last night. You need to fix it. There was an error with it. You got to go read it again. Mitchell, screw that paper. There's a new paper. Go. It's doing good. I hate Trump. Dude, this channel is getting busy. Congratulations, Corey. This is a hate Trump channel. Fucking, we are anti-pedo, anti-Nazi channel. We don't let you speak, dude. If you want to come in here and try to defend your case, we'll let you speak. But if you come in here being a fucking tweaker, tweaking on Trump meth or Trump fentanyl, you know, we like fuck off. So we do. I'm making actually breakfast here. Exactly. .05% of the world is a descendant. What does that mean? Of 1.6 million people. Irving. Channel activity. Irving, I want you to respond. I want to go back to your comment yesterday. Just stop. It's nothing like 1937. How is it not 1933? Let's go back, Irving. Let's go back to yesterday's. Yeah, I live here. This is my little kitchen. I'm about to make breakfast. So this kitchen is set up. I set this kitchen up as feng shui. So like from one spot, I can cook, one step cook, one step fridge, right? Here's the drawers down here, has all the cut Tupperware, right? There, a dishwasher, small little dishwasher. Pots and pans, right? Okay, on there. So yeah, a Japanese house. I have a Japanese house, a little tatami. This is called tatami space right here. So you can sit up here, you can eat on the, eat here, sit in a circle, right? Talk. My wife does her makeup and shit over there. It's our little living room on here. So, anyway, I think I lost connection. I'm making breakfast. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. Who's that, Tommy? I don't know. You hungry?
Yeah.
Huh?
Shower last night.
Yeah, you were gaming all night. What are these things? Why are these in the freezer? Should we put these in the fridge?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yeah, it's been in the fridge. I'm not hungry enough. I'm going eating with my friends.
Huh?
I'm going eating with my friends.
You better eat then so you don't spend money. What?
お願いします。
何をお願いし
お願いします。お願いします。お願いします。
You better start eating, son.
お願いします。
Look, I got a steak right here. How about a steak?
どうぞお願いします。
My son's begging for money. He's gonna go eat with his friends. After saying my driving was shit.
I love your drive. I love your drive.
Ah, my son. See, I taught him. I taught my son. Always, you get what you want by, you know, by being kind. God damn. All right, back. Yeah, I know, Tony. Yeah, he is such a horrible driver. Look, he's got a gold license. Guess I'm gonna have steak and eggs. Australia, this is Australian steak. Cheap. Cheap Australian steak. Yeah, it was his friend's mother talking shit. How dare her talking shit about another kid's parents? That's very un-Japanese. What do you think? God damn, they're like, that's like being an American. I don't have a Foreman's grill. I used to have a Foreman's grill at my house. I love this thing, dude. This is my favorite thing right here. Look at this thing. I love this thing, dude. Look how old it is. It's like warped and shit. Right? This is like the best. This is my grill. I'm doing my potatoes right now. Put that on here. See, use a metal top. Like it's like a grill top. Sounds American as well. Yeah, I was saying, dude, it's so un-Japanese. Your father's a horrible driver. Telling some son about that? Dude, that's Karen. I should tell him to call her Karen. See, she probably didn't think that my son would tell me, right? Would be too embarrassed to tell me. MAGA checking in on your TDS. No, dude, Sean, you have TDS. What are you talking about? How about this whole Trump pedo thing? Oh, there goes Sean. We didn't get the chance to troll him. He's old time. He's old time. Sean is. He's been on this channel a long time, dude. Checking in on his TDS. Sean, how you been? How's my MAGA clown doing? My number one MAGA clown. How you doing, Sean? What have you been up to? You'll see him next month. God damn. Oh, soy sauce on my steak. What's up? What's going on, T-shirt? I'm making myself some steak and eggs. God, isn't it like, what do you think of the Trump? What do you think of Trump the pedo? Is Trump a pedo? Take the poll, folks. Come on, it's got to be like, I hope every day is a wonderful secret. Trump is a disgusting pedo. I think people are starting to realize. That, Sydney. I think they're starting to realize that Trump is a disgusting pedo. I'm gonna have fried green tomatoes. You ever had fried green tomatoes? Fried green tomatoes. Let me get my steak out there. Fried green tomatoes. I wonder if fried green tomatoes. Well, you know what the list is, right? The list is everyone that visited the fucking island. They know exactly what the list is. You know what I'm saying? Everyone who went to the island needs to be fucking questioned. Do you think so? I haven't. Put some garlic in there. Another garlic. You squish the garlic so all the wrapper comes off. Just like that. See, the wrapper all comes off. Smash the garlic down. And then you can dice up the garlic. This is actually wild garlic. I found this garlic growing on the side of the riverbank when I went for a walk. There's my hash brown. Look at that. Hash brown. Look at that. Let's get more oil on this thing. Let's flip the, we got two things going here. Let's flip the green tomatoes. Oh yeah. Fried green tomatoes. That's a southern thing. You know that? Fried green tomatoes is southern. Turn that down. Olive oil. More olive oil here. Let's get some eggs in here. One egg. Eggs. All right. Put that over there. Get the blower. I mean, charcoal. Oh yeah, look at that. This is a breakfast. Hash browns. Melt that cheese on there. What's up, Vic? How you doing, sir? How's that wig? Let's get God damn it, shit falling out everywhere. You know, I like ketchup with my hash browns. A little ketchup. All right, other egg on top. We're having a king of a breakfast. I love breakfast. Is my favorite meal to cook. And then let's put on, oh yeah, baby. Southern breakfast right here. Need a knife and fork. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Making you a little hungry? Let's go get a nice big glass of milk. God damn it. Maybe go get a big glass of milk. God damn it. All right. Itadakimasu. All right, guys. Dude. Look at that. My homemade mashed browns. Well, fried green tomatoes. Yeah, we don't. It's hard. I got steak under here. I got steak. Look at that steak, big old steak. Mmm. God damn. I mean, what was everyone's reaction when you heard them read the letter? What was people's reactions? What were you guys doing? What was everyone doing? I mean, I was like, holy shit. And there's like threatening to sue Rupert, calling Rupert personally. I was in the middle of traffic smoking a cigarette with my truck windows rolled up, playing YouTube music through my audio, then use my earpiece to listen. You were late. What else? Other people? Are you serious, Tony? Are you serious, Tony? You haven't heard about the letter? You guys don't know about the letter? Seriously. Mm. Where were you? Where were you, Jazz? Where were you? Where I know. Disgusting undowdo eating in the audience. I got big chunks of garlic, fried green tomatoes. I got double eggs. Usually I don't eat 2 eggs, but and a big old steak. Wow. They're shit. They're fucking Nazis, dude. Yeah. Vic is still fantasizing about food. Vic. Tony, you're trolling. Tony's got to be trolling us. Tony's trolling us. You're trolling us. Oh my God, let me go get my phone. Did Mama take Mikey to club, I guess?
because a couple people clicked the join button. All right, buckle up, because believe it or not, we actually got some real, substantial, and new, never-before-released information regarding the relationship between Jeffrey Epstein and President of the United States, Donald Trump.
How convenient. What convenient timing.
It was because a couple
I love
people
these
clicked
guys.
the join button, and so they were like, release it! Anyways, we're not entirely sure if this new information was the only thing that Trump has been reacting to over the past week or so, but it certainly does not paint him in a good light at all, and it once again confirms his deep ties to the infamous human trafficker in a way that is very hard for even the most hardcore MAGA loyalists to brush off.
But very easy at the same time, because this is the lion mainstream media.
Of course.
Up to their old tricks.
Oh, old Rupert Murdoch, famously critical of
Liberal
conservatives.
Rupert Murdoch. He's basically a communist, that Murdoch.
Now, as you're aware by now, Trump has spent most of July absolutely losing his mind over the Epstein case. His attorney general declared that it is case closed. His base showed serious signs of cracking after they refused to simply move on as instructed. Trump went back on the previous official statements to claim that the files do exist, but that they were manufactured. And he spent the past few days essentially ordering the conservative media sphere to just please stop talking about Epstein, while also calling his own base stupid for continuing to be obsessed with the case. And while all of this was happening, he was apparently fighting a secret war against a major news outlet who was preparing to release letters sent to Jeffrey Epstein for his 50th birthday.
A big one.
One of which came directly from Donald Trump himself.
Well, he writes a lot of birthday letters. He loves a birthday.
He surely didn't personalize this one in any way that would implicate him in maybe some things that were...
I sign a lot of things that come across my desk, and sometimes the signature is very conveniently placed, along with some very incriminating comments. So yeah, according to former CNN journalist Oliver Darcy, who currently runs the independent news outlet Status, and who also broke the Olivia Nuzzi RFK Jr. sexting saga, the Trump administration had been desperately trying to kill a story that was set to be published by the Wall Street Journal, a notoriously conservative financial outlet owned by Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah.
So the chances that the Wall Street Journal would distribute something critical of the sitting president without really going above and beyond to verify the validity of it are low.
Yeah, this is...
I mean, he does own the New York Post. They would do something like that. But the Wall Street Journal has a certain sheen to it.
Yeah.
And editorial standards that I would say they would not be releasing something like this if they weren't damn sure about its legitimacy.
Yeah.
So from his reporting about the impending release, Darcy said that, according to people familiar with the matter, the Journal is facing pressure from the White House over the story. In fact, Trump is said to have personally called Emma Tucker, the Journal's editor-in-chief, to voice his objections. The specifics of the call remain unclear, but it's hard to imagine Trump voiced anything but outrage.
Yeah.
It's unclear whether Trump reached out to Rupert Murdoch, whose news corporation owns the Journal.
But
He reached
it
out.
was maybe an hour or two after this kind of this story about Trump trying to pressure them to not publish it that it actually broke. And don't worry, we're going to get to it, but we really need to drive home the absurd context of this past week leading up to this release, because like we've said before, there is so much already out there about Trump and Epstein, going back a decade. More than 2 decades. 3 decades if you count the 90s, because that's when that video was taken. It's crazy how much is out there. It's been bizarre to watch him lash out so violently over the past week, which all culminated in furious calls to MAGA-friendly influencers, the firing of the woman who literally prosecuted Jeffrey Epstein, and yet another strange deflection from White House spokesperson Carolyn Levin, who was asked directly on Thursday about the so-called Epstein hoax.
Did she have the cross on or not? This is my favorite new bullshit conspiracy.
If she's wearing the cross,
yeah,
she can't lie.
Yeah,
Who knows?
she takes the cross off when she needs to tell a lie.
Otherwise, it burns straight in.
Which is that's some Mormon logic. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't fully believe it, but who knows? But she was directly asked, okay, if this is a hoax, what part of the hoax exactly would you say is false? And Here's the clip.
Can you clarify which part of the Epstein hoax is the hoax part? The president is referring to the fact that Democrats have now seized on this as if they ever wanted transparency when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein, which is an asinine suggestion for any Democrat to make. The Democrats had control of this building, the White House, for 4 years, and they didn't do a dang thing when it came to transparency in regards to Jeffrey Epstein and his heinous crimes.
So yeah, I mean, incredible deflection there. And when asked whether or not Trump would be interested in appointing a special counsel to investigate the case, Levitt said no, saying the president would not recommend a special prosecutor in the Epstein case.
Why?
That's how he feels. Levitt told reporters at a briefing, adding that she was not sure if Trump had discussed appointing a special counsel with Attorney General Pam Bondi.
Okay. All very suspicious. And we're not saying that this Wall Street Journal article is just the beginning of more information finding its way to the public, but certainly doesn't look good for the president, while also destroying his claims that he and Epstein, they were never really that close, guys. Yeah, I take pictures with a lot of people. Now, again, there's no shortage of photo and video evidence of their cozy relationship over many years, but apparently that wasn't enough for his base, and this new release probably won't be either.
No.
Though it makes it harder to deny their friendship, and honestly, it's just creepy as hell. This one is.
Yeah, it was
creepier than
he
anything
signs off on it.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah,
it's got, you'll see it.
Fucked vibes.
Yeah. So late on Thursday of this week, the Journal published their reporting on a leather-bound book filled with letters from friends addressed to Jeffrey Epstein. And one of those letters was from Donald Trump, who immediately claimed that the letter is a fake thing. It's fake. It's not real. It's a fake thing.
I don't even draw.
But we're not so sure that it's fake because their investigation is very meticulous, and it would.
Well, he's sent drawings before. All right. So here's the interesting. Do you think it was Elaine Maxwell, through her attorneys, releasing it? I can see Elaine Maxwell say, "Give me a pardon," and Trump's like, "Nah." All right. Enjoy the press coverage. What do you think? So here's the letter, Tony.
Insane for them to just publish this without verifying everything, considering how litigious Trump is, and he has, in fact,
Yeah, he's come out and said he's
right
going
to
to
sue. I mean, that's not saying he still won't sue them for no reason. He sounds like that's what he's doing, but it takes a mountain of evidence and investigative reporting for an outlet this big to publish something so personally damning about the fucking president.
Yeah.
So here's some of their reporting related to what they have and how they found it.
And by the way, they use the term body in the headline and in the reporting, and just for clarity, that it basically just means
It's a term that old people use.
Yeah, it means vulgar.
Oh, that body humor.
Yeah. Here's the reporting. It was Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday, and Ghislaine Maxwell was preparing a special gift to mark the occasion. She turned to Epstein's family and friends. One of them was Donald Trump. Maxwell collected letters from Trump and dozens of Epstein's other associates for a 2003 birthday album, according to documents reviewed by the Wall Street Journal. Pages from the leather-bound album, assembled before Epstein was first arrested in 2006, are among the documents examined by Justice Department officials who investigated Epstein and Maxwell years ago, according to people who have reviewed the pages. It's unclear if any of the pages are part of the Trump administration's recent review. The letter bearing Trump's name, which was reviewed by the Journal, is body, like others in the album. It contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. A pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breasts, and the future
Girl's
signature
breasts.
is a squiggly Donald below her waist.
It's a girl's. Small arcs. Prepubescent. All right, gotta get Mikey. go get Mikey. Let's continue.
Mimicking pubic hair. That is an adult woman we're talking about. Yeah.
It's tethered to a make-believe cosplay fascist world where they create all of these fictions and stories and Dungeons and Dragons, right, around their dear cult leader. That's just not tethered to reality. So they're fighting proxy wars against each other, and at the end of the day, these wars are still kind of untethered to reality, and they're jockeying for positions, in this MAGA space, which is often also kind of very lucrative when you get closer to Mar-a-Lago and you can really kind of perpetuate, that grip. I think the struggle that some of them are finally having, though, is when Donald Trump is saying, look, I don't want you. If you don't believe that Epstein is a hoax and that it was all made up by Comey, Obama, and Clinton, you are a stupid person and I want you out. And I think that there's a little bit of a struggle and a tension there because a lot of people who are in cults don't want to look stupid and humiliated to their family members and others, and that's why sometimes they get more entrenched within the kind of cult and to the cult leader itself. So I think what you're going to see happening is you're going to see parts of the cult solidify even more, and it's going to just look, if that's even possible, and then you're going to have some vocal voices kind of get excommunicated like we saw in the first time, and now all of a sudden these are, people who are viewed as, oh, these are Trump haters and deep staters and whatever. And where I just want to always bring things back to, though, in the Epstein discussion, is that this is a real serious issue and not a hypothetical. Jeffrey Epstein ran a sex trafficking ring with elite billionaire men where they brought very young little girls and engaged in the most heinous acts imaginable. And there's a group of billionaire men. This isn't like some conspiracy. It is real. It happened. And Jeffrey Epstein was convicted, and Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted of this. And you go through the files that have been released thus far. If the complete pie has 100% of files that have been, that are out there, 10% have been released thus far in the various civil, criminal cases. And if you go through the files that have been released, the small amount of flight logs, the small amount of the black book, the small amount of the call logs, the small amount of the depositions, and you were to run that through an AI and a chat GPT and say which wealthy man was with Epstein the most, you're probably going to find out it's Donald Trump very, very frequently. And here's the thing too, Mar-a-Lago was used as a crime scene where the sex trafficking took place. And it's not like, oh, you got to be careful what you say. It's out there. And this isn't, again, going down a rabbit hole. Virginia Giuffre, underage girl, was homeless. She got a job at Mar-a-Lago as the towel girl at the spa at Mar-a-Lago, and then destitute young girl working as towel girl in the spa. Then Ghislaine Maxwell, who was right down the block, because she and Jeffrey Epstein were best friends with Trump. They'd walk over to Mar-a-Lago. They would see a young girl that Epstein might like. Oh, you're the towel girl at Mar-a-Lago? You want to meet my really rich friend, Jeffrey Epstein, and he'll take you across the world. So they bring Virginia Giuffre over, and then Epstein sex traffics her. That was the MO. So lots of people show the video, of Donald Trump and Epstein, and Trump looking like that face of his is some of the most disgusting looking face that that you see. But what they were doing there is to me more important than the visual. So yes, the MAGA civil war amongst the media, to me, it's amusing, but I always want to bring the audience back to this is real and this is serious. And now Trump is saying that a sex trafficking ring is a hoax, and he stopped the investigation into the co-conspirators.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that is so crazy to me, is this was all out there. We covered it, and the person who was most potentially implicated, sure, Bill Clinton, yes, and I'm happy to have anything bad exposed about him too, let's do it, right? Or Bill Gates or whoever. But the person who was most closely linked to Epstein in a position of power now is Donald Trump. And, you know, before the election, those audio recordings from Michael Wolff came out where Epstein was saying, hey, we were besties for a decade.
Yeah, but you were
This is
like,
we
what,
did together.
14, 15?
That story was buried.
Yeah, you barely heard anything about it. And it just speaks to the level of, like, delusion
16
that
plus.
MAGA world is able to engage in, that this was all staring them in the face, and they never saw it. They thought he was going to be the one to expose all the criminals and, like, the elite sex pedophile ring. They thought that the guy who was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for a decade, that he would be the one to do it. And even when Trump would get asked about this, he would get very squirrely, right? He would be like, you know, that now infamous Fox News interview that they edited to make it sound like when he gets asked about Epstein, he's like, yeah, I'll release the files. He goes, yeah, well, maybe less so with that one.
A lot
And
of
it
phony
goes
stuff,
on to a lot of phony stuff and privacy, blah, blah, blah. So it's just, it's extraordinary to me, the level of delusion that they were able to engage in, to think that he wouldn't be implicated in any way.
In psychology, cognitive dissonance and projecting the worst qualities of your cult leader onto the other. And, you know, it is what, you know, you take a look at North Korea, for example, right? What does North Korea say about South Korea, usually? Not to say that South Korea is a perfect place or any place, but all of the things that Kim Jong-un is doing to his people and torturing his people, they'll say, look, that's what's going on in South Korea. That's what the red states do to the blue states. Right? You know, the red states would be failed states without the blue states. I mean, you know, they hate California, but California contributes $80 billion more to the federal government than it takes in, where a state like Texas takes in $50 billion more than it gives to the federal government. So quite literally, the blue states subsidize the red states, but the prevailing narratives out there has no bearing to the reality that 75% of the United States economy is made up of what blue states are doing. So I mention that not to get sidetracked, because I think we need to be focusing on the Epstein, but it goes back to what you started, which is, why do you think the Midas Touch Network is breaking out, you know, in this media environment? Because I'm just trying to cut through. I don't like politics, and my wife sometimes goes, yes, you're on a political media network, of course you love politics, but I really don't. I don't like politicians. I think if you believe that one politician's going to fix things, they're always going to let you down eventually. You know, I'm not like rooting for a specific which Democrat. I hate when I get the question, what Democrat do you really like out there right now and you think is going to win? I don't know. The one who fights for the people the best and actually delivers on their promises would be the best. But I think I think that we have to cut through all of the BS and get down to the truth. And the truth here is that Donald Trump is intimately involved. And I always tell people too, you know how I can show you that there's a list? I could prove to you there's a list very, very easily. And they go, how? I go, Trump's DOE 174. You know, what do you mean? I said in the civil cases, he's DOE 174. So that means there's DOE 173 and there's DOE 175. And that means there's DOE 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It doesn't just start at DOE 174. So now you could say, well, what's that list? It was the people who were around Epstein whose names had to be given DOEs, because if you knew the data about them, it could potentially harm them, so that their names are under seal in the court filings. But I would tell you, I would know exactly where to go to get the Trump portion of the Epstein ordeal. In Ghislaine Maxwell's federal criminal sex trafficking case, there was a woman who was 14 years old at the time, said that Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein introduced her to Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. She went by Jane Doe at the trial. I want to see her grand jury testimony. I want to see all of the witness statements related to her. I want to see the Doe 174 witness file. Anything referencing Trump, who's given the designation Doe 174. I want to see all of the, communications, emails, anything referencing, Trump's name. We know that stuff's out there. So if Trump also selectively released certain documents and not others, I think why he just wants to shut it down, totally. And the way they shut it down, though, was just, beyond, it's like, what? Like, that's what you're doing? You're saying it doesn't exist, but now it's created by Obama, Clinton, and Comey? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, and then they fire Maureen Comey, Comey's daughter, who's the federal prosecutor of the Ghislaine Maxwell. They fire her right away. But I would know exactly where to look. So this isn't some hypothetical thing. And I think where we have to be, not careful, but,
やばい情報をゲットしました。株&の株がついに配られることになりました。
前から株々といろんな人に勧めてもなかなか
The media always wants to gamify, these issues. Blue team, red team, this team, that team. And then, you watch a show where they have like people just yelling at each other, and then it's like, okay. And you're not really left with what's the truth. And the truth is there was a serious sex trafficking ring that exploited young girls and destroyed their lives for the rest of their lives. And Trump was involved, and we deserve answers.
So now I'll give you the new poll numbers that we just got. Crystal and I were just talking about this in the intro here. So prior to this Epstein fiasco with Trump coming out like 4 or 5 times and tattooing guilty on his forehead as he tries to sweep it under the rug, prior to this, his support with the MAGA base, like MAGA Republicans, 86% was the support. Okay, that was the CNN poll. The Quinnipiac poll had him at 87% prior to this. Since this scandal, he's now gone up 2 points in the CNN poll to 88%, and he's gone up 3 percentage points in the Quinnipiac poll to 90%. Make sense of that for me, because that, to me, is a level of, I don't even know what to call it, commitment to one man over anything else that I can't even wrap my mind around. That you're willing to say, I don't care that these girls were sex trafficked and Trump is implicated and he's clearly trying to hide that. Because what? How do you get yourself to this place? Make sense of that for me.
Well, I think at some point, that number will probably look more like 98%. And we may go, oh my gosh, 98%? Well, 98% of what, though? If the base is a rapidly shrinking base of people who are now willing to believe that James Comey, Clinton, and Obama created the Epstein files in order to frame their dear leader, Donald Trump, if you're willing to believe that, you'll probably believe that actually the Democrats are Martians from a secret alien species that is going to, turn every volleyball player into a trans athlete or something. You'll buy anything. You'll buy anything at some point. So to me, the question really isn't what's the MAGA base and Republican support, because it actually doesn't surprise me that number keeps going up and up and up as he gets more deranged. Question, and the bigger question though, and I think it's one we find out in the midterms, is what does that base look like? Most Americans right now consider themselves independents, and the independent base is growing more than anybody. And the bigger challenge, I think, for all of us in elections that whether we like it or not will probably be always closely decided, is how do we not normalize this fascist conduct out there so that these independents who may not be watching our YouTube channels every day or getting the news through by watching what's going on in the House and the Senate and forming opinions, if they just turned on their local news like you did during the election and you didn't know any of this, you thought Donald Trump was a normal candidate who was just focused on affordability, because the way local media cut all of his clips where he would be, I showed a clip this morning in one of my videos when Donald Trump was in Iowa speaking at a high school. He said that he doesn't like when hookers pee on him. He said, lots of people say I like golden showers. Go back and you can pull the videos.
This is, yeah, right. You're right, Tia. Is exactly that, right? %.
Like, come on, Ben, you're making this up. He said that at a campaign stop in Iowa, at a Iowa high school. My wife, that would gross me out. But the local media coverage will not say, well, that's a pretty strict, in order to frame their dear leader, Donald Trump.
Hear that again. I missed
if
that.
If you're willing to believe that, you'll probably believe that actually the Democrats are Martians from a secret alien species that is going to, turn every volleyball player into a trans athlete or something. You'll buy anything. You'll buy anything at some point. So to me, the question really isn't what's the MAGA base and Republican support, because it actually doesn't surprise me that that number keeps going up and up and up as he gets more deranged. The question and the base is growing more than anybody, and the bigger challenge, I think, for all of us in elections that, whether we like it or not, will probably be always closely decided, is how do we not normalize this fascist conduct out there so that these independents who may not be watching our YouTube channels every day or getting the news through by watching what's going on in the House and the Senate and forming opinions, if they just turned on their local news like you did during the election and you didn't know any of this, you thought Donald Trump was a normal candidate who was just focused on affordability, because the way local media would cut all of his clips where he would be, I showed a clip this morning in one of my videos when Donald Trump was in Iowa speaking at a high school. He said that he doesn't like when hookers pee on him. He said, lots of people say I like golden showers. I go back and you can pull the video so you can be like, come on, Ben, you're making this up. He said that at a campaign stop in Iowa at a Iowa high school. My wife, that would gross me out. But the local media coverage will not say, well, that's a pretty strict. Could you imagine if Obama, I just want to let you all know that,
Oh my God.
I mean, it would be the big, it would, but if you watch the local news, they just cut Donald Trump saying, and that's why we're going to make America great and things are going to be cheaper. And they replay that over and over and over and over again. So we just have to make sure that his behavior is, and behavior like that is not normalized and appeal to the independents and people who really want normalcy.
なんか勝ち目なゲームない杖と剣の伝説杖と剣の伝説どこかがしな放置がち放置でそう
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No.
the Shane washing, what you're describing.
Oh, I mean, and the double standard, it's such a cliche at this point to be like, imagine if Biden or Obama or Kamala had said X or Y or Z, and it's like, the double standard is just absolutely insane with this guy, the things that he can say and do that like barely even register. One of the things that I think is going on right now too is, and you see some of the right-wing influencers grappling with this in real time, is basically they're being offered this deal of like, well, yeah, he's covering up an elite sex crimes, pedophile ring that he's probably implicated in, but you're gonna get, some landscapers thrown into CCOT or thrown into Alligator Alcatraz. So the deal that's being offered to the base is basically like, well, you'll get your fascism and you'll get to see this like horrific cruelty on display, and you're just going to have to suck it up where, bombing Iran is concerned, or where Epstein is concerned, or on other issues, or on cutting Medicaid in service of the rich is concerned. You're just going to have to deal with those things, and what we're offering you in return is a demonstration of fascist cruelty.
Yeah, look, he's a bad guy. I mean, the argument, right? He's a bad guy. We know that he's a bad guy, but he's our bad guy. So don't you like to see the libs be owned? Don't you like to see how they get really upset, and which is basically their platform, when you throw people into concentration camps and you disappear? Don't you want to see more of that?
What did Kamala say that was bad, or what did Biden say that was bad? Anything close to that?
We're putting military on the streets.
I'm on the other side from Tokyo.
This is what you all wanted to see. And
here's
going back
Tokyo.
to my point, I do think
Pacific,
that there, whatever that
I'm over
portion
here.
is, there's that 30% of America, 30% of America that identifies as MAGA, where truly cruelty is
America,
the point,
over here,
and their happiness is derived from the suffering of the other in this very strange, cult-like mentality. I think for the rest of the country, the issue of being able to live and a life that's rewarding, that's meaningful, and where you feel dignity.
What did he say?
And you were received with dignity.
What did he say, Nick? Did he, did he say, I like to go into locker rooms and check out the naked pedo girls like he did, like Trump did on Howard Stern 1995? Go look it up. YouTube channel. What did he say, Nick? What did he say? Did he say, did he say, that he doesn't like hookers giving him a golden shower? Did he say something like, oh, I like to grab, I can't help myself, to grab women by their genitalia? Exactly. Nothing smart. And Trump, did he ever say anything fucking smart? Never. Get the fuck out of here, Nazi. See ya. See ya, Nazi. Next Nazi, I want to batter up. MAGA Nazis. Trump pedo. Take the poll. Take the poll. Is Trump a pedo? Why is he hiding? Why is that whole thing with a letter? Wonderful secret. What do you think he meant by that? May every day be a wonder. Explain that to me, Richard. Explain that. What does that mean? May every day be a wonderful secret. That's such a pedo thing to say. He's saying that to the king of pedos. What was he referring to? What do you think, Richard? My kids must have a Trek event today. Or Eric. Yeah, think of the secrets Trump having with Ivanka. Now we understand his comments about his because he's on them, Richard. Did you not hear that? He's fucking pedo 704 or whatever. Actually, he's actually listed.
I don't even know what to call it.
Emails, any.
皆さんこんにちは、留学生です。私の YouTube チャンネルの登録者数は280万人。
Here you go. This is what we want.
Referencing.
Here we go. Here you go. And listen to this.
And, it is what, you take a look at North Korea, for example, right? This takes in $50 billion more than it gives to the federal government. So because I'm just trying to cut through. I don't like politics, and my wife sometimes goes, yes, you do. I love politics. I really don't. We have to cut through all of the BS and get down to the truth. And the truth here is that Donald Trump is intimately involved. And I always tell people,
involved.
You know how I can show you that there's a list? I could prove to you there's a list very, very easily. And they go, how? I go, Trump's Doe 174. What do you mean? I said, in the civil cases, he's Doe 174. So that means there's Doe 173, and there's Doe 175, and that means there's Doe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It doesn't just start 174. What do you mean? I said, in the civil
174. Doe 174. That's the list. Give us all the fucking Doe's names. And then have each of the Does explain what they were doing on the island. Listen up.
Cases, he's Doe 174. So that means there's Doe 173, and there's Doe 175, and that means there's Doe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It doesn't just...
They didn't pardon fucking Trump. Does that mean he was guilty? I love that. So Pelican. So that Trump was guilty then. They didn't pardon. They didn't let fucking Trump off. So he's guilty, right? I love that. See, look at the dumb fucks. Hey, Mouth, look at the dumb fucks. It's like, if it's in their favor, they're like, oh yeah, see, I knew he was innocent. But the moment they find him the system's rigged. The fucking dumb fucks. Look at that fucking dumb fuck. How fucking stupid can you be, Pelican?
start at Doe 174. So now you could say, well, what's that list? It was the people who were around Epstein whose names had to be given Does, because if you knew the data about them, it could potentially harm them, so that their names are under seal in the court filings. But I would tell you, I would know exactly where to go.
Listen.
To get the Trump portion
Yes.
of the Epstein ordeal. In Ghislaine Maxwell's federal criminal sex trafficking case, there was a woman who was 14 years old at the time, said that Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein introduced her to Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. She went by Jane Doe at the trial. I want to see her grand jury testimony. I want to see all of the witness statements related to her. I want to see the Doe 174 witness file. Anything referencing Trump, who's given the designation Doe 174, I want to see. I want to see all of the, communications, emails, anything referencing, Trump's name. We know that stuff's out there. So if Trump also selected...
Yeah, if he has nothing to hide, why is he hiding all that there? Why is he hiding all that? Oh, I hope you have a wonderful... I hope every day is a wonderful secret day. Because that's a fucking pedo thing to say. Trump is a fucking pedo. Right? He admitted that he's a sex predator. Really? He has to save face. Dude, like all these people made a career, right? Oh, when I get in there, I'll release it. Oh, we'll let all the files out. And now it's coming home to bite them. Because they look at the files like, holy fucking shit. Trump is all over. I think, my thinking is that Maxwell is what gave the book. What do you think? She got fucked on her parole, right? She was up for parole. She got fucked on it. And so she released it. And she's like, I got worse. Seriously, Matt? Is that what the fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying? There's fucking anarchy in the row. Well, she's either gonna get pardoned. Hold on, I'll be right back. Gotta get pardon Maxwell. He can't pardon her because pardoning her makes him look as guilty as fuck. But now her attorney is going to say, listen, the president said there's nothing there. She's going to use that. The president said it's a hoax. Her attorneys must be loving it. Now it's a piece of bamboo. James T. Kirk. Good name. All-American name right there, James T. Kirk. That kind of name would be anti-Trump. James Kirk. She's up for, she needs to appeal. But she's already gone through court, all the evidence. It's not a hoax. There was what's the name said? There was testimony and everything else. Of all the victims, no. That girl, the one that testified, they talked about, she was 14 at the time. She had a court case against Trump saying that he violently raped her 5 times, right? Tied her to the bed 5 different times. I've read the documents. Horrific shit, dude. She testified against Elaine Maxwell. They were talking about, she was talking about Trump. Exactly, Mal. That's all lies. Can't trust our system. It should just be no system at all. Are you hungry?
No.
Huh? No?
Where we gotta go?
No, you want to go McDonald's? Huh?
Yeah.
Or do you want to go 7-Eleven? What's FDL LOL? He is, dude. Well, there is, Richard, there is actually a Republican is pushing to get to, it takes about a week, but is fighting to force the release of the documents, and they're trying to block it by passing legislation saying it can't be released. The Republicans are. Oh, fall down. We say ROLF. Fall down. Ruffle. Roll on the floor laughing. You need to learn that one. Fall down laughing out loud. Roll on the floor. LOL. You ever heard that one? Roll on the floor. You guys are dumb. You changed it to fall. That was too complicated. So now, fall down more. Oh, good shit. Yeah, Katie Johnson was 13. Fucking A, dude. 13-year-old girl. Oh, God, Tommy. Mikey. Let's go inside. You want to go inside? Screw it. Huh? What? Want to go inside?
Let's go to bed, I don't know.
Huh? Alright, let's get 7-Eleven. Everyone's going McDonald's. Oh yeah, did they block it? They blocked it. They passed a bill like all last night. Then they did something last night where they stayed up to block it. They're just fucking shitheads, dude. Crosby. Well, they're great. They're creating lots of ad campaign material for, for Democrats for sure. I know. That's a great line. I thought you were all for protecting kids. So and so blocks the Epstein file. I mean, they're creating like so much great like campaign material. I mean, the Democrats are gonna be like, oh my God, what do we go with? What do we go with? Oh wow. That fucking shithead got as a fucking permanent fucking judicial. He's gonna be pushing all the shit through there. Thoughts on the Epstein scandal? Well, dude, I mean, it's pretty obvious that Trump's a pedo. I mean, if you don't, we always knew he was, but now he just pretty much admitted it.
He released certain documents and not others. I think why he just wants to shut it down, totally. And the way they shut it down, though, is just, beyond, it's like, what? Like, that's what you're doing? You're saying it doesn't exist, but now it's created by Obama, Clinton, and Comey? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, then they fire Maureen Comey, Comey's daughter, who's the federal prosecutor of the Ghislaine Maxwell. They fire her right away. But I would know exactly where to look. So this isn't some hypothetical thing. And I think where we have to be, not careful, but, the media always wants to gamify, these issues, blue team, red team, this team, that team. And then, you watch a show where they have like people just yelling at each other. And then it's like, okay. And you're not really left with what's the truth. And the truth is there was a serious sex trafficking ring that exploited young girls and destroyed their lives for the rest of their lives. And Trump was involved, and we deserve answers.
So now I'll give you the new poll numbers that we just got. Crystal and I were just talking about this in the intro here. So prior to this Epstein fiasco, with Trump coming out like 4 or 5 times and tattooing guilty on his forehead as he tries to sweep it under the rug, prior to this, his support with the MAGA base, like MAGA Republicans, 86% was the support. Okay, that was the CNN poll. The Quinnipiac poll had him at 87% prior to this. Since this scandal, he's now gone up 2 points in the CNN poll to 88%, and he's gone up 3 percentage points in the Quinnipiac poll to 90%. Make sense of that for me, because that, to me, is a level of, I don't even know what to call it, commitment to one man over anything else that I can't even wrap my mind around. That you're willing to say, I don't care that these girls were sex trafficked and Trump is implicated and he's clearly trying to hide that. Because what? How do you get yourself to this place? Make sense of that for me.
Well, I think at some point that number will probably look more like 98%. And we may go, oh my gosh, 98%. Well, 98%.
Yeah, my phone overheated. Probably gonna overheat again. God damn, it's so hot on this damn phone. I gotta take Tommy to. Tommy's gonna go to lunch. Fucking A, dude. I hate that about Japanese. You see how quickly that guy pulled up? Like he's gonna go. Fucking car just like, they came out of nowhere going like 20 miles per hour and just stops on a dime. It's like he's gonna go. Like pull out right in front of me. I guess we're done. I know. I mean, that letter, Richard. I hope every day is filled with whatever it is. May every day be a wonderful secret. But you have to understand, Trump was abused as a child, you know? He's probably a victim of abuse, right? He probably was a victim of abuse. Wouldn't surprise me at all. All these enabling, you know, MAGA pedos, dude. But, you know, they go around calling him daddy. You know, look at Tucker Carlson. Daddy's coming home and you've been a bad, bad girl. And you're going to get a vigorous spanking. It's disgusting. I mean, the MAGA fucking, they're all a bunch of fucking pedos, fucking sex offenders, fascists. You know, they don't give a fuck about women's rights. They don't give a fuck about kids either. They use the whole abortion thing as a way to control women, as a way to show their power over women. You know, they're just literally just pieces of shit, dude. I have brought up before the book published years back called President Trump, Donald J. Trump, Son of Man of Christ. Never heard of it. Yeah. Go tell your brother I'm out here. Hey, go. All right. Do you think, I bet Trump's whatever fuck her name, Melania, fucked Epstein. What do you think? I gotta fucking somehow block this fucking phone, dude. My phone's overheating. But Trump is all into that. You know, Trump is all into banging other people's wives. So wouldn't she be into banging other people's husbands? What's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? Seems like it. I love that. Oh, it's coming out. Oh, that photo is coming out, dude. JD Vance. JD Vance. That is how Trump. I'm glad you brought that up there. I hope you brought that. I'm glad you brought that up. This is how dumb this person is, right? This MAGA, right? MAGA, right? We got a MAGA right there. Do you have a photo of the letter? Dude, JD Vance. Did you listen to Lawrence O'Donnell last night? Lawrence O'Donnell did this beautiful thing. Let me see if I find Lawrence O'Donnell. Let me talk about that. I'll have Lawrence tell you. Oh, are we late?
Yeah.
Oh,
The train's leaving at 12:40.
Oh, shit. What time's your plane, Trent? 20.
I'm only 50
It takes me 5 minutes to get there. It takes 5 minutes to get there.
10 minutes.
Nah. Listen to this. It's fun. It's great.
株&の株がついに配られることになりました。Well, as the world now knows, the breaking news of the night is that Donald Trump is sinking deeper and deeper into the Jeffrey Epstein scandal with reporting from the Wall Street Journal May every day. What is now a fully out of control situation for the Trump administration. Defendant and convicted co-conspirator, grand jury transcripts. And the Attorney General knows that. Now, Donald Trump has now sunk to the lowest point in his presidency because this story and only this story has separated Donald Trump from some of his most fervent and frenzied supporters in the past who are now, later, routinely raping men as his closest friend. You know how much trouble a politician is in when stories like this break? Not that there's ever been a story like this, but when scandals break, you know how much trouble a politician's in by the reactions to the story. There are several people mentioned in the Wall Street Journal report. Donald Trump is just one of them. Other people from the leather-bound album assembled before Epstein was first arrested in 2006 are among the documents examined by Justice Department officials who investigated Epstein and Maxwell years ago, according to people who have reviewed the pages. It's unclear if any of the pages are part of the Trump administration's recent review. The Justice Department, run by Donald Trump's Attorney General Pam Bondi, has control.
Pam Bondi, by the way, was one of those teenage girls. She was groomed into that position. There's pictures of her as a teenage girl with Epstein and Trump. I have that on my last podcast. So she was groomed. So wouldn't it be great if Pam Bondi suddenly has a come to Jesus and says, you know, I was one of those girls. I was great, right? I was groomed into this position. Oh, that would be sweet, but that'd be just too good.
Of the entirety of the Epstein files, including the Epstein birthday material quoted by the Wall Street Journal. The Justice Department officials didn't respond to requests for comment or addressed questions about whether the Trump page and other pages of the birthday album were part of the agency's recent documents review. The FBI declined to comment. So the Justice Department does not dispute one word of the Wall Street Journal reporting tonight. The FBI does not dispute one word of the Wall Street Journal reporting tonight, not one word. In Alan Dershowitz's birthday letter to Jeffrey Epstein, he made a joke about Bill Clinton. The Wall Street Journal report tonight says, quote, Trump, along with others, including Clinton, also appeared several times on flight logs for Epstein's private jet. A spokesman for Clinton referred to a 2019 statement that former President Clinton had cut off ties more than a decade before Epstein's second arrest and didn't know about Epstein's alleged crimes. So Bill Clinton, another person mentioned in the Wall Street Journal reporting tonight, does not dispute a word of the Wall Street Journal reporting. The only person mentioned in the Wall Street Journal reporting tonight who is disputing that reporting is Donald Trump.
Because he's a pedo!
Here's the Wall Street Journal's description of that birthday letter to Jeffrey Epstein. The letter bearing Trump's name, which was reviewed by the Journal, is bawdy, like others in the album. It contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker, a pair of small arcs.
Who loves to use a felty? Who loves to use a heavy marker? The only pen that he uses is a marker, right? And you know how he does his name, like Donald at the beginning? That's the bush. So, yeah, he drew the picture of the woman, and it wasn't a woman, it was a girl. He drew a picture of a girl, because they describe her as small little boobies, right? It was a pedo. It was a pedo drawing a picture of a pedo for his best buddy, pedo, Epstein. And so he does this marquee of a woman, and then he does his signature, and the way he does now, every time I see Trump's signature, I'm thinking of that pedo. Now I got his signature now is forever, you know. Oh, God damn it. Well, it's just going fast. She's speeding. She's going 80. She's going speeding. Should have pulled out in front of the woman. That's facts, baby. Facts. Listen up, Bubba. Listen up.
The future president's signature
pedo,
is Bubba. Donald below her waist, mimicking pubic hair. The letter concludes, "Happy birthday."
Oh, it's fine.
And may every day be another
that car
wonderful
slowed me down. I'll be
secret.
there already.
In an interview with the Journal on Tuesday evening, Trump denied writing the letter or drawing the picture. "This is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story," he said. "I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women," he said.
That's not true, because he sent in a picture, right? It's been documented. See, I love Trump. He lies. There is documented evidence that he's done pictures before. He's sent them in before, line drawings, right? So Kyle Kalinske, when he's driving in the car, talks about it. So everything he does. He doesn't know how to tell you the truth. Should have just admitted he can't read. That's true.
"My language, it's not my words." He told the Journal he was preparing to file a lawsuit if it published an article. "I'm going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else," he said.
Except for
the Journal offered a full description.
Except for the girl that claimed that he violently raped her in 2016, 5 different times at 5 different parties at Epstein's house. Except for that girl. He sues everybody except for the girl that made these base, pedo allegations against him in 2016. And also she testified in that got Maxwell convicted. She also testified in that court case. Not her. No. Not going to sue her. How much money do you have?
4.
Huh?
4.
Give me the 4. I'll give you Ichima.
Really?
I have to do my my shortcut here. Not that. Who are you hanging out with?
The bread.
When are you gonna go to Shiba Masa with your girl?
I don't know.
You should tell her. Then you get her in a bikini. Have fun. Throw her around. Go on some slides. Is Shiba Masa open yet? When is it open? July, right?
I guess.
Huh?
I guess.
Not yet?
I don't know.
Should be open. Look how hot it is. They're missing out, aren't they? Maybe I'll go Shiba Masa today. Keep listening.
Of the birthday letter without reproducing a copy of the birthday letter in their reporting. Inside, the reporting says, inside the outline of the naked woman was a typewritten note styled as an imaginary conversation between Trump and Epstein, written in the third person. Voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything, the note began. Donald, yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey, nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald,
Two pedos
we have
talking.
certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey,
We have no
yes, we do.
Huh?
Come
We
to
have
think
no
of it.
thousands.
Donald, enigmas
We got
never
changed.
age.
It's changed.
Have you noticed that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald,
Can
a
I
pal
just-
is a wonderful thing.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, and may every day
All right, have a good day.
be another wonderful secret. The year before that 2003 letter was written, Donald Trump supplied this quote to New York Magazine for a profile of Jeffrey
1 year before the
Epstein.
letter. Listen
I've
up,
known
boys.
Jeff for 15 years, terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it.
No, not the younger side. They're fucking girls. Pedos. Women on the younger side. Epstein only were with girls. Trump knew he was a pedo. Trump hung out with him because Trump is a fucking pedo. It's clear. And any defense of this means that you are a fucking pedo because you're defending a pedo. I mean, it's like even a monkey brain could see that Trump's a fucking pedo. The letter, the comment a year before, the fact that we know Epstein was 1,000 girls were trafficked, 100 over 100, John Does. It's insane. But the best part's coming. Best part.
Jeffrey enjoys his social life. His social life led to criminal charges in Florida, for which he made a sweetheart deal with Florida prosecutors, and then years later, federal charges of sex trafficking in New York, which
Pam
led
Bondi
to Jeffrey
was
Epstein's death
in there at that
federal
time.
prison during Donald Trump's first presidency, with Donald Trump's administration in complete control of federal prisons. In the first year of the first Trump presidency, Jeffrey Epstein told Trump biographer Michael Wolff in a recorded interview, quote, I was Donald's closest friend for 10 years.
やばい情報をゲットしました。株&の株がついに配られることになりました。前から
The Trump White House reaction to this story tonight has been chaotic and continues to be chaotic. At 8:33 p.m., Donald Trump posted on social media his threat, and only his threat, it's just a threat, to sue the Wall Street Journal, saying the Wall Street Journal and Rupert Murdoch personally were warned directly by President Donald J. Trump that the supposed letter they printed by President Trump, he would take care of it, but obviously did not have the power to do so. The editor of the Wall Street Journal, Emma Tucker, was told directly by Caroline Leavitt and by President Trump that the letter was a fake, but Emma Tucker didn't want to hear that. Instead, they are going with a false, malicious, and defamatory story anyway. President Trump will be suing the Wall Street Journal, News Corp,
It's like the
and
best
Mr.
soap
Murdoch
ever.
shortly. Donald Trump has issued...
Let me go get ice cream. This is like the best fucking soap ever. From Japan, get to see the Donald Trump soap unfolding, Nazi. Ellison, coping? Are you coping? Are you wrapping your head around that the person you fucking admire is a fucking pedo? He's a grifter. Oh, did you notice his shit coin is down to under $10? It was up at $80. It's down to under $10 fucking dollars now. That is just too funny. Let's go get an ice cream. Fake scripts.
an uncountable number of threats to sue people who he has then chosen not to sue. Rupert Murdoch has the power to stop the Wall Street Journal from publishing anything. Rupert Murdoch and the Wall Street Journal facing a lawsuit threat from Donald Trump, and going forward with their reporting is a very strong statement by them in their own confidence in the Wall Street Journal's reporting. Before Donald Trump posted that on social media tonight, his vice president got out ahead of Donald Trump on social media and said something that Donald Trump refused to say in his own social media post. What J.D. Vance wrote tonight could be his first big move to become the next president of the United States without waiting for the next election, because what J.D. Vance wrote tonight adds fuel to the fire burning in Trump world about the Epstein files, which now will burn all the hotter because of the Wall Street Journal's reporting tonight. J.D. Vance said what could be the most harmful thing anyone on the Trump team could say tonight. In his social media post, J.D. Vance used Donald Trump's new favorite form of public presidential profanity in J.D. Vance's best imitation of Donald Trump. J.D. Vance wrote, "Forgive my language, but this story is complete and utter bullcrap. The Wall Street Journal should be ashamed for publishing it. Where is the letter? Would you be shocked to learn they never showed it to us before publishing it? Does anyone honestly believe this sounds like Donald Trump?" And in another post, J.D. Vance wrote, "Doesn't it violate some rule of journalistic ethics to publish a letter like this without showing it to the victim of this hit piece?" The answer is no. It does not violate journalistic ethics, and the worst thing that can happen to Donald Trump is for the Wall Street Journal or anyone else to release publicly a copy of that letter. The worst thing that could happen to Donald Trump is exactly what his vice president, J.D. Vance, is demanding tonight. J.D. Vance, the person who would move up to the presidency if this issue becomes so difficult that it drives Donald Trump out of the presidency through impeachment or resignation. We have seen this happen to a president before, and Donald Trump has never been weaker. And J.D. Vance of all people, is saying, show us the letter, demanding to see the letter. Donald Trump did not dare to say, where is the letter, in his social media post tonight, which occurred 40 minutes after J.D. Vance's social media post tonight. Donald Trump is not asking to see that letter. Donald Trump doesn't want you to see that letter. But J.D. Vance wants you to see that letter. If J.D. Vance creates a groundswell demand by more and more Trump supporters for the release of that letter. That could do more damage to Donald Trump than anything that has ever happened to Donald Trump in his entire political career. And it's J.D. Vance who's doing this. Once again tonight in Donald Trump's public comments about Jeffrey Epstein, who he used to call a terrific guy, Donald Trump portrayed himself as a victim and only himself. In Donald Trump's mind, he's the only victim in this story, and as usual, he does not have
Where's the letter?
Word of sympathy tonight to offer Jeffrey Epstein's real victims. And I'm going to read to you the words of just one of Jeffrey Epstein's 14-year-old victims from an interview she gave in 2019 after Jeffrey Epstein was arrested by then the Trump Justice Department during the Trump presidency, which is when the Epstein files were created. I will not mention her name tonight or show the video of the interview that she did so as not to subject her.
カード会社に騙されんなよ。アコム、プロミス、メイク。この3社から金借り取るやつ要注意や。
アコム、プロミス、メイク。この3社に1回でもお金借りたことある人に朗報よ。
To that pain. She was asked, "Did Jeffrey Epstein rape you?" She said, "He raped me. Forcefully raped me and knew exactly what he was doing, and I don't think he cared. What hurts even more is that if I wasn't afraid to come forward sooner, then maybe he wouldn't have done it to other girls. I feel really guilty to this day. I feel really guilty." That's a feeling Donald Trump has never had. He has never felt guilty about anything. He's never felt really guilty. He doesn't know what that feeling is. 14-year-old girls raped by Jeffrey Epstein suffered and suffered again and suffered again, and Donald Trump cannot bring himself tonight to offer them a word of sympathy as their experiences are flashing back to them in a world that will now be saturated with coverage of Jeffrey Epstein. Those 14-year-old girls suffered the unspeakable experience of rape, and then they suffered from their own feelings about it afterward. And many of them have suffered, as they've said, from feeling guilty. One of them, whose suffering never stopped, took her own life just 3 months ago, even after receiving funds from a victim compensation fund set up
$7 million.
within Jeffrey Epstein's fast wealth.
Money doesn't
The
heal.
money was no compensation
Nope.
for the suffering. Imagine what those girls felt when they read Donald Trump in New York Magazine saying Jeffrey Epstein is a terrific guy. The 14-year-old girl whose account of being raped by Jeffrey Epstein I just read to you was raped by Jeffrey Epstein in the same year that Donald Trump told New York Magazine that Jeffrey Epstein is a terrific guy. And yes, this story is about a stunning turn in American politics. And yes, this story is about a president of the United States. Yes, this story is about a child rapist who died in federal prison while Donald Trump's administration was in control of all federal prisons. But the power of this story to bring down Donald Trump does not come from the Wall Street Journal. It does not come from Rupert Murdoch. The power of this story to bring down Donald Trump does not come from the Trump fanatics who are now turning against Donald Trump tonight. The power of this story comes from those children, those 14-year-old girls who's suffering at the hands of that predator who Donald Trump called a terrific guy, never ends.
J.D. Vance is going to get the letter out. Letter is going to be condemning.
If I could teach myself a new language, story has published. I'm just reading this now for the first time. The Wall Street Journal has reviewed a book put together for Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday. As part of that book, a letter was submitted by Donald Trump. Trump's letter features a drawing of a naked woman And this text, which imagines a conversation between Trump and Epstein, there's a voiceover that says, "There must be more to life than having everything," the note began. Donald: "Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is." Jeffrey: "Nor will I, since I also know what it is." Donald: "We have certain things in common, Jeffrey." Jeffrey: "Yes, we do, come to think of it." Donald: "Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that?" Jeffrey: "As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you." Trump: "A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret."
So Beto.
What the f? Welcome to Pod Save America. I'm John Favreau.
I'm Dan Pfeiffer.
Dan, welcome back.
God, it's been
week so long. Well, then I was gone the week before. It's been like, this is the longest we haven't podcast together in a long time.
But here's the thing. We're always podcasting. It's just sometimes the microphones are on.
That is very true. Where did you go on vacation?
I was on a family trip with my parents and my brother, my sister-in-law, and my niece in Hawaii.
There you go. Oh, you love Hawaii.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Well, it's good to have you back. We have a packed show for today. We're going to talk about Trump threatening to fire the Fed chair, the Republican Congress going after Big Bird and Daniel Tuck.
Fox didn't learn that lesson. They knowingly omitted facts. They edited out those facts. They lied. They knowingly lied. And they weaponized that lie, and it was heard around the world. I'm looking forward to any deposition. I'm looking forward, Fox, to discovery. I'm looking forward to all your emails, all the text messages, Jesse. I'm looking forward to all of it, to all the senior producers, to the Murdoch family. I'm looking for it. I got all the time in the world. And I'll be spending it in Delaware, where we're doing this case. Or you apologize. Do the right thing. It's hard for you, I know. But do the right thing. You know, fair and balanced, really?
I'm sure Jesse Waters doesn't put anything in text or email.
No.
That would be embarrassing or he'd regret if it came out in Discovery.
I'd expect to see an apology. Fox didn't learn that lesson. They knowingly omitted facts. They edited out those facts. They lied. They knowingly lied. And they weaponized that lie, and it was heard around the world. I'm looking forward to any deposition. I'm looking forward, Fox, to discovery. I'm looking forward to all your emails, all the text messages, Jesse. I'm looking forward to all of it, to all the senior producers, to the Murdoch family. I'm looking for it. I got all the time in the world. And I'll be spending it in Delaware, where we're doing this case. Or you apologize. Do the right thing. It's hard for you, I know. But do the right thing. You know, fair and balanced, really?
I'm sure Jesse Waters doesn't put anything in text or email. First, he has now officially filed a suit against the Wall Street Journal, claiming libel and slander over their publication of the bawdy birthday note that he wrote to Jeffrey Epstein for Epstein's 50th birthday. Interestingly, this was filed in the federal court for the Southern District of Florida. Does that ring a bell to anybody? The Southern District of Florida? Why might he be doing it there? Here's an idea. You know Eileen Cannon, the judge that was making life as easy as possible for Donald Trump as he was being investigated and indicted for mishandling of classified information? Yeah, Southern District of Florida is Cannon's district. So obviously we're doing some judge shopping here. A little bit more from the latest. This is coming from CNBC. He writes, "I look forward to getting Rupert Murdoch to testify in my lawsuit against him and his pile of garbage newspaper, the Wall Street Journal. That will be an interesting experience." You can't really glean anything about whether Trump thinks the facts are on his side from the fact that he's filed a lawsuit, because he's filed lawsuits where the facts aren't on his side all the damn time. First, he has now officially filed a suit against the Wall Street Journal, claiming libel and slander over their publication.
The guy's just a bad guy. I mean, how long was he in the Department of Justice? It's been 6 months since the inauguration. He's already been in the middle of 3 huge scandals. One, dangling a criminal prosecution over the head of the mayor of New York to get him dance to Trump's immigration tune. The second, faking a criminal investigation to try to create a pretext to seize funding they didn't like because it was climate related. And the third, the telling courts to F off scandal, where we actually now have corroboration that, yup, he actually did say that.
And now he's a
Those are
judge?
just 3 things we know about in only 6 months.
Right.
So you can only imagine what a guy like that is going to get up to with a lifetime appointment and no restraint on him. The guy's just a bad guy. I mean, how long was he in the...
I have several undeniable loves in my life. The oaky notes of a barrel-aged whiskey, an old-fashioned plumb bob dangling over a red cedar plank, my blushing bride's hoo-ha, and of course, America's national parks.
President Trump just increased the price to get into national parks, but only if you're from a foreign country.
The national parks will be about America first.
The increase is estimated to bring in an additional $90 million to the Department of Interior's budget.
Let me get this straight, Mr. President. You cut $267 million to get back $90 million. Now, I'm no mathematician, but I believe that's called bed.
Shitting the bed.
But then again, I didn't go to Wharton Business College. I have some...
Tim, I'm just going to go out on a limb and guess that you think this is fabricated and a hoax and completely made up by the Wall Street Journal. Let's say
I don't, actually. I think you're wrong on that. I also say that, yeah, there are a lot of people in the files, that's true. I mean, not me, for one example. I don't think not most of the viewers, right? But I know you. The President of the United States was in it, though. Look, the Wall Street Journal does very meticulous reporting. Donald Trump has wrote a picture before, actually, as evidenced by a bunch of stories that have come out on social media about how he likes to doodle. There you go, you're putting one on screen right now. And Donald Trump hung out with Jeffrey Epstein. Like, here's the thing about this. Like, what's damning about this exchange is some of the language that is used, you know, about wonderful states that was in it, though. Look, the Wall Street Journal does very meticulous reporting. Donald Trump has wrote a picture before, actually, as evidenced by a bunch of stories on social media about how he likes to doodle. There you go, you're putting one on screen right now. And Donald Trump hung out with Jeffrey Epstein. Like, here's the thing about this. Like, what's damning about this exchange is some of the language used, you know, about wonderful secrets and about how much they have in common. But, like, the fact that they were friends during this period, 2003, 2004, is not new. They talked about it. Both of them have separately, and both of them talked about how they like young women. And Donald Trump has many accusers, and Jeffrey Epstein was convicted of, trafficking young women. So, like, the new element of this is just it's kind of like, oh wait, yeah, here's a fresh reminder of just how close these guys were.
Tim, I'm just going to go out on a limb and guess that you think this is fabricated and a hoax and completely made up by the Wall Street Journal. Let's say
I don't, actually.
Absolutely, Mouth.
Of course, we do have to say this is all, you know, reporting from the Wall Street Journal. It seems to have Trump
panicked, I think is very fair to say.
I mean, I don't have a good synonym for panic like bought is for trashy, but I mean, it's just sweaty panic, and you've been seeing it for the past few days. So to me, that says, you know, he wrote it, or signed it, or something.
He certainly drew it. One thing I didn't actually know, I thought I knew everything about this fucking guy. Way too much of my brain is composed with random facts about one of the stupidest Americans who we've elected president twice. But one of the facts I did not know or I'd lost was that he did like to do little Sharpie sketches, apparently. There's a whole catalog of them, and he would sell them for charity, and so...
When he said, I've never drawn anything in my life, well, except for the Empire State Building that sold
I never wrote a picture in my
$16,000?
life. I never wrote a picture of my life. Yeah, that was the one.
I mean, what?
Yeah, there's several. Someone else sent me a couple of his other ones this morning. A money tree, naturally. Tree with dollars on it. Some other skylines. He did like the skyline. I haven't seen any other naked pictures.
I mean, it's almost written like to trigger conspiracy theorists. Let's hope every day is a wonderful secret. Well, there's a good argument for not releasing any more information. Of course, we have to say this is all, you know, reporting from the Wall Street Journal. It seems to have panicked Trump.
Panicked, I think is very fair to say.
I mean, I don't have a good...
Jack O'Donnell, former president of Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City, told CNN he once reprimanded Trump in the 80s for bringing underage women into the casino with Jeffrey Epstein. He frequently came down to Atlantic City, the two of them, to attend special events. In my mind, it was his best friend, from really the time I was there for 4 years. Well, Jeffrey Epstein and Trump are on record saying they were best friends. The commission decided to give Trump a break, of course, because of course, this is his whole life, and not fine him for bringing, she was 19, this one, but because obviously casinos you have to be 21. But anyway, there was this mountains of photographic evidence of him, very, very young girls.
Absolutely, and he's trying to make it all go away.
Yeah. Jack O'Donnell, former president of Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City, told CNN he once reprimanded Trump in the 80s for bringing underage women into the casino with Jeffrey Epstein. He frequently came down to Atlantic
I've seen
City.
a picture with him with his hands on the girl.
It was his best friend, from real.
Look at this shit, dude. Look at that. You think that's an underage girl? He's got his hand on her leg, dude. All right, and there's Epstein. There's Donald's hands. There's Donald's hand on a fucking girl. Imagine if that was Joe Biden. Imagine if there was a picture. Look, it's like he's got his hand like opening her legs. And look at this predator. Look at the fucking face on this fucking predator. Who is this predator looking at? All right. Trump has it. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Secrets. This the secrets, Donald, you're talking about? Is this the secret, Donald? Actually, he's holding her hand. He's holding her hand, and he's got his fingers going down between her legs. Notice that. He's holding this girl's hand, which is the same age as Ivanka at the time. Look at the pedo. Look what he's focused on. Get that shit, dude. That's Donald's fucking hand. Holding her hand and sliding his fingers. Sliding his fingers between her legs. Look at the pedo in chief right there. There he is, the pedo in fucking chief. Right? Fucking pedo and fucking chief, dude. I mean, it's all there in that one picture. It's all there in one fucking picture. I don't know why they gloss over it. I'm guessing what, she's about 15, 14, 13. Is that the girl? Is that the 13, 14? She's no more than 15 years old. That girl's no more than 15 years old. Sick fuck, dude.
But this past week is the first time I think that the so-called Trump era, where the president is seemingly weakened and out of touch with his base. What do you think? Why do you think this Epstein scandal hit different?
The whole Epstein, all the conspiracies, all the talk about Epstein, what happened, the island, that has been at the center of not just what kind of the far right and MAGA have been interested in, but Donald Trump talked about it extensively during his campaign. His followers did. I mean, you look at Donald Trump Jr. I mean, he's tweeted about it dozens of times. So they have been obsessed with kind of the Jeffrey Epstein saga. Democrats, of course, we've been focused on a bunch of other things, lowering the cost of goods, fighting the good fight for working class families. And now this thing is completely blown up because what people are noticing is that Donald Trump is clearly now hiding something. And I think his base feels betrayed after promising that he would release the Epstein files. For some reason, Donald Trump is now trying to dismiss them. And that, I think, is a big story.
But this past week is the first time I think that the so-called Trump era, where the president is seemingly weakened and out of touch with his base. What do you think? Why do you think this Epstein scandal hit?
Paul was right. The president can't actually fire him. The position of Fed chairman was designed to be independent from the president to ensure that his decisions will be made free of political pressure. But Trump thinks he found a loophole.
Yesterday, the president suggested a caveat that he could remove Chairman Powell if there is cause. He has accused Powell of fraud related to the Fed's multi-year $2 billion renovation project.
He's spending $2.5 billion to I guess it's a renovation. I don't know.
The one thing I didn't see him is a guy that needed a palace to live in.
And now on top of it, he's building a close to $3 billion little nest egg for himself. He's doing a little renovation for $2.5 billion of the Fed.
Yes, I've been here this entire time. By the way, it's crazy to hear Trump complain about the Federal Reserve Palace while he's sitting in his gold-bedazzled office. Man, that Jerome Powell sure is extravagant. Don't you agree? Gold-plated eagle holding up a marble end table? Powell was right. The president can't actually...
Bruh. Okay. So there was a file, but then there wasn't a file. Then the file was made by the Democrats, but it still didn't exist. But if it did, it was filled with sick stuff, but also boring stuff. And needed to be released. But now we should just get over it. Because Trump didn't know Epstein. He tried to get Rupert Murdoch to kill the recent story in the Wall Street Journal that showed that he wrote a very incriminating, very gross, very personal birthday card to Epstein on his 50th birthday because they were, in Epstein's words, best friends. But if you're still asking about evidence of the sex trafficking ring, then you are a loser because it's a hoax. And any MAGA person that's still talking about this, it's because they're stupid. Because you're supposed to ignore the fact that every Republican in Congress voted to suppress the evidence. But also be happy that Pam Bondi is now saying she's going to give us the goods from the grand jury, that she's on it and she's releasing the information that doesn't exist because, baby, I'm not cheating. Look at this text. It just says...
Because Biden, the reason why is that Biden and the DOJ followed fucking DOJ rules. I mean, the case was under seal. I mean, that's one of the flaws of the Democratic system. I mean, of Biden, you know. So let's go inside. I think we're here. 11 people. I'll be on later. I'll be on in a couple hours. I'm gonna chill. All right, undoubtedly. Later, guys. I'll be on. We'll be hopefully get the MAGAs in here later. I'll try to do more of a MAGA, catch MAGA shit, dude. Later.